Okay, that was extremely difficult getting this module out. I did manage to get it out in the end. Unfortunately, I've broken the stem crown, or whatever you call it, it's on the end. So I have to get a new one of those, but there's a little lever in there which you have to depress when it's in the case to hoik the module out. And the only way I found out about to pull it out was not through the instructions online, but through a Polish guy's website, Azimuth PL, who had a photograph of the module from this angle here, and you could see clearly what the lever mechanism was. You need to depress that. You need three pairs of hands to be able to take this out. So I've managed to remove the module. I've also finished cleaning, as far as I can go, the actual strap and bezel. As you can see, there's still a little bit of dirt in there, but this has had about 20 minutes in the thingy bath, the ultrasonic bath, and it's got rid of most of the grime, but there's still a few little bits left, but it's a lot better than it was. So that's cleaned up all right. So let's put that down there. So now it's crunch time. Is to come to test the module and see if it actually works. And the batteries, the 309 Renatas, have turned up. So it's time to place them into the module and see what we get, see what happens. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be that successful, but we'll have to, let's just find out. Okay, that's positive. That one's negative. And then we need to put, this is really fiddly, this little bit, the battery terminal in. I'm going to be able to do this without getting, yeah, there we go. Ah, yeah, almost. Now this is going to be really, yeah, tricky, very tricky. The way to do this, I'm pretty sure, is to get this first and actually hold that, get the screw and plonk it through. Now, gonna go for me? No. This is what happens when you go live. Oh, right, he's through. Okay. And what you do, if it'll work, is to actually place it right, in she goes. Up there quite with a fiddle. Now, secure that down, and the way to do that is to screw it in around a bit. Okay, in she goes. Not too tight, but enough to. Okay, the moment of truth. So when I turn this module over, what do I get? And the answer is nothing. Never mind. That's a shame. There's nothing on the LCD display. And the way to check whether this is actually working or not, the analog side of it, is if you fully depress in, it should advance the minute hand. And it does nothing. It does the... Oh, right, so that doesn't actually, yeah, it does. That engages. So that works. And the date's moved over. So that works. But when you press in, it's supposed to, apparently, and it hasn't, is to nudge the minute hand along. Right. Okay, so that's interesting. So it looks like the module's completely dead. I checked the voltage of the batteries and they're 1.5 volts, what I'm going to do is just to make sure we've got a circuit going on here. Let's have a look. We can check. If I think go across here, if you can see this. Positive, negative. Yeah, 3.1 volts. So we've got a circuit there. Right, so there's two things it could be. It could be the quartz crystal is failed, and that would stop the mechanism from counting, so there would be no LCD display, and I think it would mess up the analog display as well. But I've also found out that this little thing here is a stepper motor, and these fail really easily as well. So if that fails, then if I just turn this over, I think you can see, well, it's difficult to tell, but it's driving the hour hands on there. It's just there. And there's a spindle that goes through, and apparently these, motors fail really easily. Let's put it over. And also, like I said, this has had a battery leak in it. Let's pull this out. This has had a battery leak in it at some stage. So it could have got into the electronics and fried it. Now, I don't know how to change the LCD display. I think that's beyond me. I'm not sure even if I can change this little stepper motor. But I know what I can do is I can check whether the crystal is giving out a proper signal. I think it's supposed to be 32.6 kilohertz. And I've actually got a machine which will test the output to make sure that the crystal is working. Because the wires, very thin wires, are soldered in, and they could be making contact, but the actual crystal itself could be broken, and that would stop the module from working. And like I say, I've got to work out how to remove this item here and see if I can either get a replacement for it or repair it. But apart from those two items there, I don't think there's anything else I can do. I have also noticed that there's 4 screws here which are holding the LCD panel in, and they're rusted. So whether that's part of the problem is that the battery acid got in there and corroded it, I don't know, but it's a real shame. It's not working at all. It's dead as a dodo. Right. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I can test on there. Like I say, I've used the pusher to push in, and that's not advancing it. And the chances of getting hold of another module I don't think Amiga would sell them, and if they did, it would be the odd £1,000 or something, and be very unlikely to find a second-hand module that's working on eBay or on the internet. You never know. I don't know, maybe someone who's watching this video would know where to get hold of one, but unfortunately that is really a dead ducky, and which is a shame because I've got all the other bits and pieces together and I can reassemble them. I think I can use the crown, that's just a push fit onto this stem here. It just broke off when I pulled it out. That was really difficult getting that stem out. If I hadn't seen that picture on the Polish guy's website, I don't think I'd have ever got the module out. It was so difficult and fiddly. It's a very, very fiddly little, well, it's a well-designed module because it's compact, but it's not designed for humans to work on. So, like I said, the next part 3, I'm going to test the crystal and see if I can investigate removing this stepper motor here and either dismantling it and seeing if it's broken or replacing it with something that works, and then take it from there. And if I can't, if the crystal's dead, I can replace that and use a second-hand one and dry solder the put the legs onto there, but the stepper motor, if I can't replace that, yeah, so if I do both items, do the crystal and the stepper motor, and it still doesn't work, that's as far as I can go. I think I've tried everything. Unless, of course, you know differently. And if you do know differently, please leave a comment telling me what I've got wrong, or you have some knowledge which I don't and which could be shared. Because it's a shame that you can't, after 50 years, I can't get this watch to work again. And be nice to get it working. And like I say, if it doesn't work and I come to the end of the road, it's going onto eBay and someone can use it because the parts are quite valuable. And I've seen stupid prices asked. I saw someone wanted 120 quid for a clasp. I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of money. Backing plate, £180. Now the glass just alone was 150. The links on here, it's got three removable links here, and they were going for 50 quid each. So it's a real shame, but breaking it all up and selling it in bits and pieces, I'd recoup the money that I spent at the auction. But anyway, right, that's the end of the demonstration so far, and I'll be getting back probably next week sometime with the results of my investigation. So thank you for watching so far.